Hi there, my name's Jen. I've been thinking for a while of doing a podcast. I've had people tell me that I should do that. I tell you a little bit about myself. I live in the area of Vancouver, BC, Canada. My husband is a RCMP member. So we've done a lot of moving and that kind of stuff in the last 10 years that he's been in member. We have 3 kids, 18, 16, and 14. So yeah, that's fun in the teenage world that we are in. And when we first moved to our first posting, we went to a place where I didn't know anybody at all. I had learned to knit when I was pregnant with my first son from my sister-in-law. She taught me how to knit, and we knit a stocking for the first project, and that was stupid and crazy and not a very good first project, but we did it. Made a lot of mistakes on it, and but I still have it to this day, mistakes and all. It's still a good memory, and it definitely started the wormhole of knitting that I went down. I've always been interested in knitting and crocheting. I had a friend in high school that her mom was a major knitter and did lots of colorwork sweaters and all that, and I was so jealous and always wanted her to knit one for me, but that never happened. But it was always something that I thought would be amazing to be able to do. So yeah, at our first posting, I had been, up until then, I had been doing lots of knitting, but just really basic stuff like blankets and scarves and that kind of thing, nothing too complicated. And I was getting a little bit bored, and I wanted to learn to crochet, but I didn't have anyone to teach me. So I started on this new thing, YouTube, and locked myself in our office, and over a couple weeks I taught myself to crochet. I'm a very visual learner, and so it would be like, let's go for a couple of seconds and then stop and then do it, and then but yet still I didn't I was not good at it, of course, at the beginning, and did a lot of swearing and locked in my room, and then I just slowly just kept practicing and just got better and better, and went into the world of crochet. A huge inspiration for me for crocheting during that time was Lucy at Addict24.com, and she has like a degree in color theory or art something or whatever, and you can tell by her crochet projects, because she is just a wizard when it comes to putting colors together, and but yet it looks random, but yet I don't know, it's just a gift. And she just really fostered a love of color and crochet and blankets and just loving the materials that you're using and that kind of thing. So I did a few of her blankets and tutorials and bags and that kind of thing, and amazing. Like if you don't know anything about her, you have to go check her right now, because it's like step-by-step tutorials on how to do every single thing with pictures, and yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, so that was cool. Then we moved to our second location, and I had pretty much mastered crocheting and wanted to try something a little bit more complicated when it came to knitting. And so I had never knit anything in the round, and so I'm going to learn this. It can't be that hard. Like I have to be able to learn this. If everyone else can do it, I can do it. And so I went onto Tin Can Knits and did their hat. I think it's the barley hat. I'm wearing it actually, this one here. And so I bought a circular needle from Michael's, and I knit it, and I was like so stressed the whole time, and I would be sweating, especially when I had to do decreases and all that, and like not having when you're doing the ribbing and not having the stitches twist, and oh my gosh, it was like, yeah, I was so nervous. But I did it, and I was so proud of myself because I actually finished it and I loved it, and the pattern was super easy. It was working in the round, it was working with stitch markers, which I had never done, and making the garter patch in the front or whatever. And like, it's not perfect, but it definitely was on the right track. And so that made me want to learn another skill. And it was right around Christmas time that I was like, you know, I've always had a passion to learn to knit socks. And but I just was like so intimidated by that or whatever. And so I just started looking online, and I don't know what we ever did without the internet, because I found so many different things. And the one that I was really gravitating to was by a website called Winwick Mom. And she does it was like a sock along that she had done in the past, but she still had all the tutorials online. And it was a step-by-step, like, this is what you buy for needles, this is what how many stitches you do on, if you cast on, if this is your size of foot. It was super easy, and what kind of yarn to buy, that kind of thing. And so I was like, that's it, that's going to be, I usually pick a word per year and do a not New Year's resolutions, because that never happens, but I did like kind of like goals that I'm like, I hope I can accomplish this year. And so my goal creatively, I usually do it spiritually, physically, creatively, I don't know if that's a word. I did so I decided I'm going to knit socks in that year. And so I went onto Amazon. I purchased the Addie. She uses the 12-inch circular needles, not magic loop. Well, you can do magic loop and you can do double pointed needles, but she did it with 12-inch circulars, and that seemed the least like the least hard for me. Double pointed needles I had done for the top of this, and it is just like what they say, is like wrestling a porcupine, and I just was really didn't think I would do well with that. And so I'm like, I'm going to try this 12-inch circular, which a lot of people do 9-inch, and she does 12-inch. So I just bought the 12-inch, and I just trusted what she said. And so cast on, and it like was seriously not as hard as I thought. Obviously, the cuff was super easy. Then you do the leg, and it's just stockinette, and it's just easy knit. Then you get to the heel. So the heel was when it got crazy and hard, and but I just did step by step with her tutorial, and I did it, and then got down to the toes, did the toes, and I had sock. And I've never been so proud of myself in my entire life. So anyway, so that started that whole obsession with doing socks, and I still do it on 12-inch circulars, and am looking to try magic loop. I've bought the mini Chiagu twist, the twist mini things, off a recommendation from the Grocery Girls, and I've used the needles for different projects like shawls and hats and stuff like that, but the cord is like almost like fishing line thin. It's so thin, and the needles are obviously awesome, and so I'm gonna try that, but I haven't yet tried that. But yeah, I still use a 12-inch, and they work great, and I do the heel on those, and I even do until I get to the toes, and then I do it on double pointed needles, and yeah, so it's great. So anyways, so I'm in this whole sock obsession. My goal this year for 2018 was to knit a sweater for myself, and so I'm trying to narrow down the patterns. I'm thinking I want to do something simple just for my first sweater, and so I was thinking of doing like the Andrea Mowry like the faded sweater, not the cardigan. I'd love to do the cardigan, but I think I should start with just the like normal raglan. And so I'm either going to do that one, or I'll do like the flax by Tin Can Knits. And so that's going to be my goal this year. So I'm hopeful that I will actually do that. And so yeah, anyway, so when it comes to the podcast, I know there's a ton of knitting, crocheting, fiber arts podcasts out there, and I'm not sure what exactly I can offer that would be different, but I've just had a lot of people encourage me to do this and say that I have the personality for it, and And I do have a huge passion for fiber arts, all different kinds, not only yarny fiber arts, but even about going back into sewing, sewing bags, sewing clothing. That was a goal of mine this year as well. And so, yeah, and so I just want, there's nothing better in my mind than showing creativity through fiber arts. I do have a passion for it. I want to teach everyone I know how to do it. It's for anxiety, it's just something to focus on and make yourself sit and stop. And as moms, we always go, go, go. Or even just in our culture, it's not even if you have kids, it's just a constant going attitude. And I appreciate being able to just sit down and do a piece of art that will that has come from generations and generations and generations ago, and that it can still be current and it can still be relevant, and it's not an old lady thing to do. It's something that can not only bring me joy and pouring love into it, but then whoever I gift it for or make it for, even if it's for myself, it's just something that becomes a part of my love and my time for me to be able to stop and take the time, because of course it's cheaper to buy a pair of socks at Walmart than to knit a pair of socks. But it's not about the actual final product. It's great, they're awesome and they fit great, but it's more about the process, which sounds so cliche, but it actually is true. So anyways, yeah, and but with this podcast, I guess I just want to share my love for it and explore the different worlds of fiber arts when it comes to knitting, crocheting, yarn loving, embroidery, sewing, any and all. So anyways, so if you are would like to join me and see if this is something that you would be interested in, and then definitely like and comment. I will be setting up a Ravelry page and a website. At this point, I don't have any of that. Just follow me here on YouTube, and we'll see if this goes anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. I think I said my name. My name is Jen. Yeah, so I'd love to, send me a message or whatever. And on Ravelry, my name is Whiteway, Whiteway. On the next podcast, I'll maybe tell you my funny story about my name, my username on things, because it's quite funny. But anyways, yeah, it was great doing this, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, have a great day.